Aside from being the best couple on TV, these two have some pretty hilarious moments throughout the seasons. We've compiled a list of the best jokes, insults, and burns of the entire show. So, here are the funniest Deckerstar moments on Lucifer. Let's dive right into it, shall we? Number 10. Not like a demented witch on crack. Chloe was supposed to flirt with one man at the bar in order to get some information out of him. Lucifer was listening in on the conversation and telling her what to say. This was because Chloe has never really done this and she's terrible at flirting. Since Lucifer has no problem lying through his teeth, he thought he'd step in and save the day. Everything started off fine, but after a little while, we saw why Chloe was no good at flirting. Lucifer had to even tell her how to laugh, but what Chloe did wasn't a flirtatious laugh. It was more like a demented witch on crack. Hey, these are Lucifer's words, not ours. Anyways, this statement alone was enough to make us roll on the floor laughing.
Right, whatever he says to you, just laugh.
Lucinda.
Not like a demented witch on crack. A deep, sultry laugh.
Number 9. Juggling the fake breast implants. It was funny as hell, but it helped solve the case. Chloe and Lucifer go to a crime scene and they notice a dead woman surrounded by a circle of silicone breast implants. You just know where this thing is headed. Lucifer took 3 of the fake boobs and he started juggling them in his hands. But wait, he found one that doesn't belong in the bunch. As he was juggling, he stopped and threw it to Detective Dan. He then told him that he can use it since he's been missing leg day. But in the end, he told everyone that those types of silicone implants are very dated and of poor quality, meaning that there was no way any modern-day surgeon would use them.
C-cups, to be precise. Oh, look at these.
Please don't. Juggle.
Actually, this one is a calf implant, so you should have that, Detective Douche.
Number 8. Lucifer has a problem being called cheap, even when acting. Chloe and Lucifer got into a diamond shop as they wanted to figure out who was behind the robbery. To do so, Chloe started pretending that they were engaged, showed the clerk one of the stolen diamonds, and called Lucifer cheap. That was the 3rd time, by the way. Every time she called him cheap, he constantly corrected her and even broke character to do so. I mean, the very last scene where he had to smash that like button just like you should do if you haven't done so already. But no, even in the last scene where they finally caught the criminal, Lucifer said she was cheap for robbing her store. Well, guess the devil considers himself a big spender.
I am not cheap. That diamond is of the highest quality. And I'm not cheap, for the record.
Number 7. Lucifer taking a photo with a corpse. Chloe doesn't understand that this is what Lucifer does for a living. I mean, he's the devil for crying out loud. Seeing corpses, dead people, and suffering is just another part of a day's work. So, when he decided to have a little fun with one of the murder victims, Chloe told him to stop. Why? Because he actually wanted to take a picture with one of the dead corpses in the crime scene. He laid on the ground next to it, got his phone out, and smiled as he took a photo with the dead person. We don't know if Hell has their own version of Instagram where they upload the most horrific picture possible, but this was downright cruel. Thank God Chloe stopped him.
For the Insta.
No.
No?
Nope, not cool.
Number 6. Lucifer see Chloe buck naked. This was during the first season and Chloe was in the shower. She kept thinking about all of the people Lucifer has killed. As she was pondering on the possibility that Lucifer might actually be the devil, she heard a loud knock downstairs. She immediately jumped out of the shower, wrapped a towel around her, and got her gun. When she came downstairs, she saw the one and only Lucifer, and he was cooking breakfast. After cracking a few jokes and asking for some truffle oil for the omelet, Chloe threw him out of the house. But why? The devil was just cooking her breakfast. What's wrong with that?
Lucifer!
Well, good morning, Detective.
Number 5. The class on dealing. When you get Lucifer a substitute teacher on a class about marijuana, then you know how that class is actually going to go down. Instead of the usual classes, this man was teaching teenagers how to actually deal drugs. Really? That's what's written on the whiteboard. I mean, we know he's the devil and everything, but come on. He even told them about the Panama Corridor, micronutrients in the soil, and everything they needed to do to actually become their own CEO. When one of the girls got bored of the class, she told him that she knows that to be your own CEO, you only need irrigation and a south-facing slope. Then she revealed an entire field of marijuana. Lucifer was impressed, told her that she would get extra credit, and spent the entire day getting high, smoking pot, and riding a horse. And of course, he gave them some valuable lessons like don't get high on your own supply, and drugs, not hugs.
Don't get high on your own supply.
Don't get high on your own supply.
Drugs, not hugs.
Drugs, not hugs.
Number 4. The booty call list. To get a lead on a killer, Chloe thought that she could start by interrogating all of the women Lucifer has slept with in the 8 weeks prior to the incident. Lucifer told her that she would need a much bigger notebook than that. As all of these men and women started flooding the police station, Detective Dan couldn't believe it. When he asked Lucifer if he actually slept with all of them, he nodded his head and told him that it was a bit of a dry season. If that's a freaking dry season, what does a wet season look like? I mean, that's a flood. This devil slept with about 2 women per night. What does he mean by dry season?
Right, you'll need a much bigger notepad.
You slept with all of them?
Yes, bit of a dry spell the last couple of months.
Number 3. Chloe couldn't resist smacking that devilish bum. We don't really blame her. If you look at the scene with the nude party, you'd know what we actually mean. But anyways, after an awkward talk before going to work, Chloe slapped Lucifer on the behind. She thought that it would be cool to do so, and she was even smiling about it, but the devil looked just as shocked as ever. Probably because he was thinking about why his charm doesn't work on the woman he actually wants. Anyways, as he was standing there puzzled, Chloe tried to explain why she did it. But then she admitted it was just weird and tried to forget about it. The funniest thing about this scene was the look on Tom Ellis's face. Priceless.
I was just trying to. May said this morning, you know.
Number 2. Lucifer has orgy pants. While Chloe was trying to figure out who pushed the murder victim out of the window, Lucifer showed up at the crime scene. He apologized for being late and then got down to business. As he circled around everyone there and tried to get closer to the man who got impaled on one of the fountain spikes, Ella noticed that his entire bum was uncovered. Now, we have a few questions here. Number 1. How did he not notice the fact that his butt was naked? Didn't it feel cold when he sat in his car seat? Number 2. Why doesn't he wear underwear when wearing a suit? Isn't that like insanely uncomfortable? But anyways, it was one of the best sketches of the show. We'll give him that.
Party in the back.
Oh dear. I've worn my orgy pants to work, haven't I?
Number 1. The camel toe panties. Now, we know that this is not one of the scenes from the show, but we just had to include it. Tom and Lauren are BFFs behind camera, so Ellis thought he could play a little prank on his co-star. They found this pair of camel toe panties in her dressing room, and Tom decided to give her a little surprise. He put them over his pants, and the entire cast was in on the joke. But it was dark out, Lauren didn't see anything, so near the end of the scene, he jumped up and asked the detective where she got them from. Even though you couldn't see very clearly, there's no doubt her mouth dropped to the floor when she realized they found her camel toe panties. Why would anyone need camel toe panties? On a related note, we wanted to know what's your absolute funniest Lucifer joke. You can tell us in the comment section below. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.